Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
So we are on. Hey, lawyer, you're on air today.
Everybody should be on there.
Well, we have a lot of conversations behind the scenes before we come on air. Good morning, you're still watching Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly, and this segment is the Newsflash segment, which is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Is it a mobile phone you're looking for? What gadget do you want? Do you want a laptop?
What program? What have mercy.
Gideon brought teasers today. I said, well, today I don't know what he's going to say, but he will need all day. So go to Franco Trading Enterprise for all your gadgets. You can actually download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app, or visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa fee. I'm thinking that Gideon has written all these notes because of the topic that we are discussing, the campaign promises. The campaign promises. Are we hearing a bit too much? Are they over-promising? Now, in the year 2016, we had so many promises. And, out of these promises, Ghanaians believed in the NPP government and voted for the government. Some of the promises were one district, one factory, 1 million Ghana cedis to each constituency, productivity, not taxation. There were so many campaign promises that were made. Now, this year, we are hearing new campaign promises because we have a new, flag bearer for the NPP. And also, we are seeing the man who wants to come back to power, that's John Dramani Mahama, also make his own campaign promises. And then we have these individuals who have never been on the sheet or on the ballot sheet, also wanting to come on with some campaign promises, which promises are a bit too much. Now, a lot of promises are coming with taxation. Can we ever build Ghana without taxation? But it looks like this is the biggest campaign promise on every lip. Let's read what the newspapers have, but let's hear your voices this morning as well, your take on it. I'll start with the Republic Press newspaper. The Republic Press. IMF, World Bank under pressure, face financing risk over Ghana's LGBTQ law. Collins Dauda arrested over voter registration chaos. Bagwin summons MPs on May 17th. That will be all for the Republic Press newspaper. The next newspaper is the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper. Choose female running mate, Methodist Bishop urges NPP. I think it's about time the NPP comes out with a running mate. We have barely 7 months to go, and there's still no running mate for the NPP. And it's making people talk a lot. Some are saying, bring a woman. Others are saying, the person should come from the Bono region. Some are saying should come from the Ashanti region. Let's make a decision quick, because this is too much. Yoko Boss chairs Commonwealth Anti-Corruption Agency. Speaker recalls Parliament. Votes for competence, Dambutri to Ghanaians, and Zoom Lion commissions recycling facility in the Volta region. The Daily Graphic newspaper is the next newspaper. The Daily Graphic, Otumfor celebrates Akwesi Day to climax Silver Jubilee. Mother's Day celebration. Okay, so when you get it, you see it. Your welfare paramount to us, says Finance Minister, as he tells GRA officers. Power sector challenges, payment system suffocate VRA. Senior staff want reform. This power sector issues, There are so many things. Maybe today, Honorable Ebenezer Nate will be able to tell us more about what's happening there, because PDSF says don't give us the money again. PDS, 190 million to fix our power sector. They say don't give again. Wow. The Custodian newspaper is the next newspaper. Serum opens Zoom Lions modern recycling plant in Ho. National Security alerts Northern Region residents on See Something, Say Something campaign. I'll continue to shame naysayers, says Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Bagbe recalls Parliament, and angry Sagnarigu NDC-PC accuses executives of sabotage. That'll be it for the Custodian newspaper. The last and final newspaper is the Daily Guide newspaper. Our democracy is safe. This is coming from Otumfor. Trinidad and Tobago supports Ghana's Commonwealth bid. Speaker summons MPs after majority demand. Bawumia takes campaign to Northeast, and Collins Dauda arrested over voter registration violence. Let's see if there's some entertainment story here. Yes. Nigerian rapper Jab Sarkodie. Oh, he shouldn't have even made it into the newspapers, if you ask me, though. Well, I mean, who is he? We don't even know who he is. So if it's Jab Sarkodie, why are we putting it in the newspapers? Oh, Koda's funeral on July 5th. Not too good news. We know Koda has died, but we are still praying for the family in this difficult time. Perfect. Okay, so government pays 200 million Ghana cedis to institutional investors, and that will be all for the Daily Guide newspaper. So my guests are seated and poised for the conversation. Representing the PNC this morning is Bernard Mona. Good morning, Bernard.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm tired, but okay. These weekends, these days, I don't get to rest. Over the weekend this time, it was a direct sister.
Oh, sorry.
Then it's Epsona, a younger one who died. On behalf of Sujan Bogatangashin. And so the entire family had to be there. We returned very late via the last flight, and also the flight was so delayed. So we got to Accra almost until 8:30. So a bit of tiredness.
Sorry, you'll be fine. Team no sleep, team tiredness. Here. I haven't slept either. I was telling you, I was working yesterday. I got home around 12 midnight.
Strangely, when I arrived from the airport, I had to go and tidy up a few things at the office. So I left the office too after 11.
Hey.
So how I managed to get up
Team no sleep. I got home around 12 midnight, so, and I had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. to be back at work this morning. Honorable Ebenezer Zanati, representing the MPP this morning. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Roslyn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm being blessed by God.
Thank God. We thank God.
I hope everything is going on well.
Everything is fine. We just need more sleep, but we'll be fine.
The last time I was saying that I want to talk to Brenda and see if we can change my panel day to other Tuesday to Friday.
Why?
Because the weekends,
I know,
waking
right?
up on Monday it's not easy. Seriously.
We do well.
Sometimes, Charlie, and your time too.
It's good. Our time is good time. You know, this is the time that people are home, though.
Because he's not, I will call the wife to find out because it's a good time to wake up. What time?
No traffic. People are home watching us on TV.
No, but looking at the time that your wife doesn't go to work. And she has even left already.
So it's good. Representing the NDC this morning, Gideon Dede, Esquire.
Auntie Rose, good morning.
You have about 18 sheets, so.
Yeah, doc. And wow.
So what are they on? Is it on the PDS or?
It ranges on all the list of over 100 corruption activities by this government, which I can't even finish listing them. and this PDS matter has even come. And so you can see this is the time for me to list. Of course, time will not permit me. So out of the 100, at least I'll list, like enough 50. Of 50. So we are not joking if time permits me. But good morning to my senior brothers. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
See how Bernard is looking at you.
Bernard is my senior brother, so.
You can also join us from home this morning. Let's start with the campaign promises. 2016, I think it was the year that we had more campaign promises than any other. We had the MPP government tell us so many things that they would do if voted into power. Some of them were the free SHS, the one district, one factory, 1 million Ghana cedis to each constituency, and many more. And so they were voted into power. They even spoke about, less taxation and more production. For them being in power for the past 7 years, some Ghanaians feel that the campaign promises were a bit too much. Now, in the year 2024, we are seeing a repetition, not in just one political party, but almost all political parties that want to be on the ballot sheet. A few of some of the campaign promises, and I want to read them to you because it's very important. You hear some of the campaign promise, and you let us know whether it's good enough or you think that these political parties are speaking too much? Dr. Mahmood Bawumia says, my ministers and deputies will not exceed 50. When we go to John Dramani Mahama, he actually promises to probe Krobo ECG disputes and punish offenders. This is one of the topics that we'll be talking about, and it happens to do with the PDS issue. Bawumia also says that national service will no longer be mandatory. One of the campaign promises. Now, he again says that I can be trusted to improve VSHS if elected as president. He also says that there will be no emissions levy under my administration. Now, Bawumia further says that e-levy will be abolished if I'm voted into power. Let's look at the new force. He also says that expansion of railways will be my priority. Let's see what John Dramani Mahama also has to say. He also says that we will not be in a hurry to start new projects if voted into power. John Dramani Mahama also says that he will establish a university in each of the 6 new regions. Now we know the campaign promises are a lot. Let's see what Afafranto, that is Alan Chemating, is also saying. He says, under my leadership, Ghana will have the lowest tax rate amongst ECOWAS. Is this possible? Now, people are asking this question. Now, if all these are possible, how come we haven't experienced it under all these governments? And we are now being told that it can be done. Is it just a campaign promise to vote them into power? Or it's possible it can be done. It's just a matter of time. Let me start this conversation probably with Gideon. Gideon, let me start this with you.
That's fine.
Great. What's your take on the campaign promises that are coming? Your government is even saying that these 6 new regions that have been created, you give university in each of the regions. Do we even have universities in all our 16 regions?
Well, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our viewers. Well, first, before I deal with your question, you know that I love to remind Ghanaians of the 24-hour economy. Even we have a whole program, NDC 360, where we are educating Ghanaians about the 24-hour economy. And I keep reminding viewers that the 24-hour economy is just a matter of making sure that there's jobs, and there's money in people's pockets. Of course, we know that because of this government, our debt has ballooned. And obviously, once we take over, we need to work harder to make sure that we clear those debts. And in this 24-hour economy, we are saying that if you're a company and you want to, you subscribe to this 24-hour economy policy, you are going to, enjoy some benefits in terms of tax incentives, and also the fact that you'll be given that some support in terms of finances so that at least you can, employ more people. And we are focusing on the pharmaceutical industry, agro-processing industry, construction industry, manufacturing industry, and many more. The NDC 360 even had hosted the Honorable Eric Opoku, who broke down how the agro-processing industry would accommodate, more people in terms of the 24-hour economy. And so I would just encourage viewers to prepare themselves that December 7th, they come with their numbers and vote, because that's what we need. We cannot, talk about any other thing apart from making sure that we provide jobs. And when you have jobs, once they say you have a job, the family is happy. When you are married, your wife will be happy. Your children will also be happy because you know that at least Sika and Bafi.
So this is one of the campaigns.
And that's all that we. Look, trust me. Once there are jobs, once industries are making it, they are not paying too much utilities because of government supporting them. They are not paying too much, duties from the port, and they are being supported financially, and everybody getting a job. And I mean, now you can work as many hours you can, and even if you are going to school and you come on vacation, you know that within that vacation you can work and put something in your pocket and pay your bills. I mean, you will see that everybody will be happy in this country, and of course, through that, our debts will be settled gradually, and that's why essentially John Dramani Mahama is asking that the 24-hour economy is the game changer. That is the game changer.
All right, let's talk about some of the campaign promises.
You see, the promises that essentially John Dramani Mahama has indicated. He has a track record on the university issue. Remember that he has set up a university in the Volta region, right? this is one of the universities that he set up. And so if he says that he's going to set up university in the various regions, it is not something he has not done before. Don't forget that he even indicated when we were in government, we indicated that we were building e-schools. The e-schools are many. I mean, when you just go to Kwabenya here, you see there. I mean, a lot of them that we will. And so this is a president that, has a track record. He's done it before. He couldn't complete because Ghanaians felt that Akufo-Addo and Bawumia could do better, even though they have disappointed Ghanaians. And so they decided to try and see what this government has done. Of course, they can see the reality. And
but let me ask you this. Coming from a man who has recently said that we will not be in a hurry to start new projects, how then is he going to build universities in all these 6 regions?
You see, Auntie Rose, you see, Ghana has gotten to a stage where we, as any government that comes to power, should not ignore or abandon projects that have already started. You see, we've done this for many years. And so it's like once a new government comes and they feel that this government, which is maybe the opposition, who is now maybe the opposition, maybe started this project, they don't want to complete it because they feel that maybe that the party on the other side may say that it is our legacy. It is actually eating up this country. This country, or governance is a continuum, right? And you will see that even in our constitution, it supports the fact that when you look at the principles of state policy, you will see that it's a support and encourages government to continue projects, not to abandon them because maybe one government did it and the other one doesn't want to continue in the name of politics. It is not helping us. And so it's a good call. I don't think that this should only be a call from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Even after him, it should be something that, every government should make it, intentional, be intentional about it. That once a project starts and a government is not able to complete it, it doesn't matter whether you belong to the MPP or the NDC. It is a national project. Governance is a continuum. You have to, every party or government must divorce itself from the politicking and just complete a project. Because in any case, it is our money. It's our taxes.
You answered my question, Gideon. For Ghanaians hearing from a man who's saying that I will not be in a hurry to start projects.
Yes.
And we know that with the constitution, even if he comes to power, he has only 4 years. When is he going to start building these 6 universities?
No, but the point is that if he says he will not be in a hurry to start new projects, it doesn't mean that
these are new projects.
Yes, no, but we will not say these are new projects per se, because I've indicated to you that there's UHAS, right? University of Health and Allied Sciences. It is a university that has been set up. So it is not a new project, because at least universities have been set up in almost, every region that we can think of. The rest that don't have it, we are starting. Don't forget that the polytechnics were now transitioned into technical universities. So it's a project that has already started. We couldn't complete it.
But there are new regions.
Yes, but you see what I'm saying? That yes, but I will not say it a new project because the universities were set up, polytechnics were transitioned to technical universities, and were issuing degrees. So indirectly, right, the project had already started. This government did not continue. And so what we must indicate is that even though he will not be in a hurry to start new projects, this project is not a new project because it has already started. It was an initiative that was going through all the regions. And then what? We handed over power to this disappointing, government. And so it is not really a new project because we've started it already. And as you speak, today, if you are even in a polytechnic, right, you know that those who were in polytechnic before the polytechnic, status was transitioned to technical university, they quickly, those who were really serious about having a degree, they quickly transitioned and topped up and they got their degrees rather than finishing polytechnics and saying that, oh, let me apply to the university. No. And so, yes, you may claim that it's not new, but it's not new because at least we started it. We didn't finish. We thought that this government will come and continue because at least degree is a basic, academic achievement that everyone should have. And so if as we speak, the universities, some regions have universities, and those who have polytechnics have been transitioned to technical universities. Then there are the ones that don't have even universities at all. They don't even have technical universities at all. They will just have to continue from there. And I indicated, the fact that this is a man that has a track record, right? And he has done it before. You saw it. We've seen it. Now we are comparing the John Mahama administration to the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration, and we can all see what it is. The reality is that we don't have to talk much, even in our pockets. Today, when I just went to Total Filling Station, the one close to Paloma, a liter is almost 15 cedis. A fuel that I buy 20 liters, fuel that I know that 20 liters those days, I will buy it for maybe 150 cedis or 200 cedis. Today, I was only paying almost 300 cedis. So you can imagine. So we are feeling the pinch. So anyone who is buying fuel, and once fuel prices increases, everybody is affected. Even the coconut seller will tell you that he transported the coconut from somewhere, and so now coconut is 5 cedi.
Okay.
Don't be surprised that today, or in some few days' time, they will tell you that Kube is now 10 cedis. You don't have anything to say.
Okay, let me come to you, Honorable Ebenezer Nartey. Your political party, that's the NPP party, some of the campaign promises, let me just quickly go through some of them. Now, my ministers and deputies will not exceed 50. We are still under the NPP government. So if this can be done, why hasn't it been done yet? Also, he says that national service will no longer be mandatory. We know that in this country and many countries, national service is very mandatory. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says if voted into power, he will not make this mandatory. He also said that I will eliminate VAT on electricity by 2025 if it's still in our books. This he has spoken about, meaning that taxes will, or VAT is a form of a part of tax, can be taken off ECG. So our power supply, ECG, will pay less. Taxes on gambling will be scrapped under his administration. He's spoken a lot. When I look at his campaign promises, it looks like it's a little bit more than everybody else's campaign promises. And for the NPP government, 2016, you got the biggest campaign promise. And we are seeing a repetition in 2024. Do you think that your government is speaking a bit too much? I know you say no, but I still have to ask you this question.
Let me say good morning to our viewers and good morning to my co-panelists here. Before I come to the issue that you have raised, there's a matter of concern that I want to raise. That is on our principal streets. There are 2 roads that have passed for the past 1 week, and I see danger on these 2 roads. One is from the Kaneshi First Light towards Dansoman, when it comes to the outer lane, in front of the Accra Academy School. When they construct the drains or the road, they try to create some hole where if they want to go and dissect the drains, they'll be able to enter. Unfortunately, when you pass through this road, all the metals that were put on it
have been stolen.
Removed. And honestly, the sad thing is that these holes that were created were done at the middle of the road, not the sideway. So if you are driving at night, it's very dangerous. And the most difficult and the most dangerous thing in it is that that's where the trotro drivers normally pass. There's a bus stop there. It's very dangerous. I want to appeal to either the road minister or the AMA boss as a matter of urgency. Yes, I was having a discussion with a friend, and he was telling me that most of the time is this scrap dealers who does that. They will intentionally come and put the scraps at that side.
Right.
So in the course of collecting their scraps, then they will pick all these things. And in fact, it's very dangerous. There's another one. If you are from Accra and use this Adabaka road, just this your road, just behind us, straight coming. When you get to this KS and so climbing to this top, the same thing. There's a Total Filling Station there. From that Total Filling Station up to former the secondary school. There's a secondary school that now it has been moved to Botiano.
Christian Methodist.
Christian Methodist. Their junction. All those ones too has been removed. And honestly, it's very dangerous if you are driving at night or if you are driving on the top speed. If you don't take, and if it happens to be a small hole, fine. But these are bigger ones. Yeah. And honestly, we can't wait for people to lose their life before we pick matters. And I want to plead to the assemblies also to take a second look at these scrap dealers. In fact, to be honest and sincere with you, on our major streets is nuisance, very nuisance. One is the, how do you call it, Beima traffic light. And you get there and there are police officers there. And you ask yourself, what kind of life are we living in? And you travel outside the country and their principal street, you clap for them.
Yeah.
In our principal street, you walk and you see, how do you call it, cows on the grass that we have planted on the inner road, in the median. And there you see cows lying there and all those things.
What kills me are the children who stand by the roadside begging for money.
For that one,
I can't take it.
in fact, their headquarters is in my constituency.
I can't take it.
And sometimes they will knock on your windscreen.
If you don't give them, they'll even spit on the car.
When I finish, when I take you to my car, I bought a cake because of them. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's nuisance.
Yeah.
As for them, as if you are owing them.
Yep.
And I think that something needs to be done. But a little thing that you do, and I ask myself, how are they able to get to this country? Because we have borders. We have immigration officers on our borders. How are they able to come? Who is the contractor? Who brings them? When you come to my constituency in the evening, from Happy Days, the Central Gospel Church area, in the evening, Rosebean stop. That's where they bath, that's where they cook, that's where they do everything. And when you talk, it becomes a political issue.
I don't think there should be a political issue. I've been very passionate about
Look
this
at what
thing.
happened at airport.
And I really-
Just the airport traffic light. You have early morning, a woman bathing for the son or the daughter in the morning at the traffic light. Airport.
Something must be done about it. I don't know if this is under Ministry of Gender, but I think that there should be some rule or some law to get children off the street. And when you see children on the street, you have to arrest the parents that put the children on the street. I think that probably an institution should be built where the children will be kept, maybe some foster home or something. Sweep the children, all the children under the age of 18 off the street into these places, these foster homes where you have caretakers, and they will go to school. If we see any child on the street, that child, parent or caretaker should be penalized. I think something like that will work because this is bad. Anyway, Honorable, to the topic.
Rosalind, campaign promises. And when is this Sheila sent me the messages, I was like, oh, really? These are issues that we have spoken about it because most of the things that alluded to the vice president or in our presidential candidates during the meeting with party faithfuls and also diplomats and other people that he invited at UPSC. These are some of the things that are online that if God being so good and Ghanaians give him the mandate to lead this country, these are some of the things that he believes and he thinks that when he gets the mandate is going to do for the good people of this country. In as much that he's a vice president, and as he keep on saying that, look, I'm the vice president. There are policies of my government. But I believe that when mandate is given to me, I also believe that I can also do a different thing to make sure that things go on well in the country. When you look at our 2016 to 2020 manifesto, things that we promised Ghanaians that we will do, I can say for a fact that at least we have challenges in some of them, but we have done a lot of the promises that we made.
Okay.
In fact, in 2016, prior to 2016 election, from 2012 to 2015, one of the messages of the president, who was then the candidate, was free SHS. At that time, when we talk about free SHS, we have people in the NDC who comes and tells us that, look, it is not possible for you to do free SHS. There are some who say, oh, even if you can do free SHS, it will take you 20 years before you do it. And a whole lot. But when the mandate was given to the president in 2017, on the 7th of January, in September or August, September, first academic year, we implement the free education. So it tells you that the promise that we made, we are able to fulfill the promise. That's why I said that, look, in as much that we have some challenges, and when it comes to free education, one other thing somebody will say that, yes, we have challenges when it comes to infrastructure. Because when you look at the population now, the last time I was talking to somebody, and I was like, he was complaining, just as we initially complaining about Mondays. I said, then it's better you go and look for a house help. Then you say, do we get house help in Nanado's administration? I say, why don't you get house help? They say, now everybody wants his or his son to go to school. So at least, averagely, if the person has senior high school, it's good for the person. So now people don't want any child of his to go and live with anybody. Because at least, when the person gets a senior high school certificate, he'll be able to get to any of the security agencies. So why should I ask my daughter or my son to go and be a houseboy or a house help in somebody's house while the person can go to school? Today, because of the free education, there are people who never thought that they will sit in a classroom. There are some people who never thought that they can travel outside the country. Because of free education, they have been able to achieve that. We have somebody from in Sawam Adreji or Ayepe's constituency. It has not been free SHS. Like by now, he's still brilliant guy. By now, he'll still be in that village. But today, this same boy is in Harvard University studying science.
So that's the question that we are asking, that are the campaign promises a bit too many? Because he has been able to accomplish something like free SHS. So why don't we concentrate on probably like 2 main campaign promises or maybe 3? But then we see so many. We had taxation to production. Where are we today when it comes to taxation? Where are we today with? We had the no family, no friends administration, but we experienced it more. You know,
who said no?
When Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa.
We are talking about Bawumia.
Wait, I'm talking about 2016. You did mention you went into 2016, and so I said that in 2016 we had this promise: no family administration. What happened? We saw his cousin being the finance minister. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of his family members in administration. What we heard was that if they are competent enough to do the work, why not give it to them? But then it was part of the campaign promises.
If I become a president of this country and I appoint anybody named Nati, meaning that it's my relative.
Oh, please, we know who are relatives and who are not. Of course not.
But there are people that
you can't tell me that the former finance minister is not his cousin.
I'm not disputing that. There are some names that came out that people attributed that these are people that are relative of the Nado.
That's why I didn't mention any of those. I mentioned those that are.
Yes. We campaign on family and friends.
Yes.
And then we have 1 or 2 people.
No, 1 or 2. His daughter even is in administration. You can't tell me 1 or 2.
His daughter, I don't know about that.
Yes, she is.
I don't know about that.
Really?
I don't know about that. Oh, but if I know, I'll tell you. You know me, I say things like this. I don't know about that. I know about the finance minister, who happens to be his cousin. I know about Asante Bidie too, who's a secretary to the president. These are the 2 people that I know.
Really?
Oh yes. So far as I am concerned, these are the 2 people that I know.
But I just told you that his daughter is in administration, and she's been in administration since 2017.
What is her position?
She's, I think, in the creative arts industry.
So you yourself, you are not even sure about it?
I'm sure. I'm 100%. No. I'm about the sector. But I know 100% sure that she is in the creative art administration. She's been given some contract. Don't forget that the contract of painting that stretch, whether it's the Bemakam stretch, you see the walls that they paint. Yes, the drawings there. Have you seen the drawings there? That was a contract.
I don't know about
I'm telling you
I'm
today.
not in the advertising in it.
I am telling you.
But you are in it. So if you say so.
But it's so. It is so on our record.
I'm not that. I'm not.
Okay.
If it tells me that she's in the construction industry, I can challenge you because I'm in. But that's your field. So if you are saying you and I were not there,
I know.
But you are there.
I know about it.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and I know most Ghanaians know about it. But I don't know. I was saying that we were promised all these things, which were failed. So can we have campaign promises that are doable? Taxation is one of the promises that we know.
Most of the promises that we made in 2012, prior to 2016 election, most of them, I can say, about 85 to 90% of those promises has been fulfilled.
You mentioned only one that was fulfilled, though.
We talk about one district, one factory. We spoke about 1 village, 1 dam. We talk about $1 million.
Oh, no, but we know 1 village, 1 dam never happened.
I told you that, look, there are some challenges. You cannot tell me that 2017 to 2020, we did not have 1, and up to today, we don't have 1 village, 1 dam in any other villages.
The campaign promise was never some villages. It said all villages.
Rosalind, in as much that we say 1 village, 1 dam, and you are able to do about 30 or 40 or 50 or 60%. we have been able to achieve it.
No, you
You can't
haven't.
tell me that. So if you go to school and you get 70%,
You haven't.
meaning you have
because-
failed. Is that what you are saying? Unless you get 100%.
No, if I tell my father that I am going to school to give you 100%,
And then you
my
get
father should not
60%.
even expect 99%. He should expect the 100%.
Which you know it is not possible.
Then
for
why?
you.
Then don't tell your father you get 100%.
You make a target. Are you telling me you don't make a target?
You didn't tell us you were making targets.
No,
you told us
it
you
doesn't
give it to
matter.
us.
It doesn't matter. What I am saying is that on our campaign promises, we said, if all things be equal, these are challenges that our people in the northern regions face. When mandate is given to us, this is what we are going to do for them. Be proud to that they don't have that kind of done. Now, by the grace of God, we are in power. We have been able to do one or two for these regions. In as much that we have 5 constituencies and we have done 3 or you have done 4. You tell me that because I have done 4 and it's left with 1, I have failed. No, it's not possible.
Okay, let me go.
We
to
talk
Bernard
about
then.
$1 million per constituency. Sometimes I ask myself, I mean, politics sometimes blind our eyes and we don't want to speak the truth. I'm speaking on authority. And you can call him and find out from him. My own brother and friend, Roxy Dafiamokbo, asked the number of times I have met him at the Coastal Development Authority with his projects that he intends to do in his constituency. And one of those things has not been done. Let's move to the constituencies and let's see whether $1 million per constituency, since we came into office and we talk about it, whether those things have not been implemented. I can tell the number of projects I did with $1 million per constituency in my constituency.
So you received your
Yes. It doesn't come to me.
Okay.
It doesn't go to any member of parliament. It doesn't go to the assembly. We have an authority. You have your priority project that you think that you want to do. You quantify all the projects. You send it to, Coastal Development Authority. They do the assessment. It goes to PPA. When approval is given, award is given to a contractor who wins the project. And the person comes and do the project for you. So at the end of the day, if you come and tell me that $1 million per constituency is not working, I will laugh at you. There are some MPs, both on NDC and MPP. And because of politics, sometimes they will just pretend. They have used it to construct advocates in their constituencies. But these same people will come and tell them. I remember when we were doing Ghana card, when they went to the presidency and they went to the judicial service, when they got to parliament, we have members of parliament on the side of the NDC who stood up and were criticizing against it. As soon as they make a comment on it on the floor, then they descend and go down and then go and do it. I
All right.
one person.
Let me go to
When he
Bernard
came back to
Monado.
the chamber, I said, you are a hypocrite. Where did you come? Where are you coming from? Let me see your pocket if you don't have Ghana card in your pocket.
All right, let me go to Bernard Mona on this as well. Bernard Mona, the political parties are promising a lot. For you, the PNC, we haven't heard much from you, though. We don't know what your campaign promises are yet. I think you are yet to speak on your campaign promises. But we are looking at Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who speaks on taxation, speaks on cutting down on, the number of people who will be in his office. We are hearing John Dramani Mahama also speak on building universities in all 6 new regions. However, he's not going to start projects immediately with immediate effect. And so you ask yourself a lot of questions. Are these political parties speaking too much just because of votes?
Well, greetings to Gideon, to Ebenezer, to yourself, and to all your technical men and women. I have not seen Brenda.
Yeah.
I suspect that you've given her some
A
day.
day off, yeah. She's tired. She needs to rest.
First and foremost is that we have 2 political parties that are racing this country to the bottom. Just listen to all the promises that are made by both sides, and none of them is touching on the fundamental issues of restructuring the economy of Ghana. So that Ghanaians can take full control of the economy of Ghana for the benefit of the people of Ghana. The economy of Ghana is being Chinanized.
How? Chinanized as in what? What's that supposed
Our
to mean?
agriculture is being taken away, and large tracts of land is being taken from Ghanaians. By the time Ghanaians wake up to realize that agriculture is for us, we do not have the land to ourselves. It's been taken away. And these people
And given to who? The Chinese?
They are buying. They are buying large tracts of lands, go to the Ashanti region in particular, and go and see the Chinese that are producing food from this country. The bulk of the food is not even what we eat. They are producing what they eat. In addition to that, they have brought a concept that is doing retailing, and they call it China malls.
Are they buying the land through individuals or because they
They are allodial landowners.
Okay.
And so it depends on the environment you find yourself.
Right.
You get a land.
Okay.
So if you go to our area, chiefs don't own land. It is the Tindamba. So you get to the Tindamba and then
you buy the land from them.
You buy the land from them. So if you go around and you see this one, and then you turn around, many Ghanaians used to go to China, including Ebenezer, to go and buy other things to come here and sell. Today, a new concept has emerged, and I just saw in Tamale, they use this, what we call prefabs, to construct malls. And in those malls, everything that Ebenezer would have gone to China to go and buy, you find it there. So you take your money and run out there, go and import. By the time you come, it's even much cheaper here because they will pay less from where they buy it. And then Ghanaian businesses are running out. How is that a solution being proposed by any of these that you have just listened? If you sit down and look critically, our extractive sector is completely gone. Completely gone. Ghana doesn't own gold. The lithium that we recently discovered, we are proud that we are going to get about less than 10%. And we are clapping hands for ourselves. Other countries have taken good note that having allowed the private sector, by private sector we normally mean foreigners, to come and take over, they are running away. So in Mexico, for instance, where lithium was going to be public-private partnership, the government has taken over the lithium production, because they realize that by giving the extractive sector to the private hands, they continuously raped and naked their nation. And so they want to take control of their economy. If you take countries that have taken control of their extractive sector, you can just list Libya under Gaddafi. From less than 17% oil ownership to 79% oil ownership. Every Libyan at birth has some money deposited in a bank account for you.
People allege that that's why, Gaddafi was killed.
Precisely. But why? Gaddafi made the life of his people better. He constructed an artificial dam that ensured that a desert country was able to be turned into a green country. Life in Libya reached a crescendo. Of course, you can say that the perfidy of some Libyans led to the killing. In fact, Africa in general led to the killing of Gaddafi. But one man used the extractive sector to transform his economy. Not only do we have oil, which Gaddafi had, we have salt, we have gold, we have diamond. What don't we have? Just mention it. And yet we are poor because of bad and greedy leadership. And then you get up and you are talking about the peripheral issues, away from the issues that will ensure a dramatic transformation of the structure of the economy. Hey, I sit here. I am unable to speak and to communicate in my own language. We have to take borrowed language to be able to understand and to make diagnosis of our problems. If we ask to speak in our own languages, trouble will come on this show. You cannot complete a sentence without adding English.
We're colonized.
You understand? And these are fundamental issues that leaders must be willing to address and confront. We are there. And it's about celebratory status we want to achieve. So, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you are in government. The president appoints 125 ministers. You came and you were hailing it, clapping, and saying that it is not about the size, it's about the achievement. All of a sudden, you say that 125 is too much. So you will bring 50. So why were you praising a 125 when you knew and you are very much aware that 50 could do the job? Wow, how is that the case?
So what Ebenezer Nartey said, it's his administration. His administration.
Which is administration? You are part and parcel of this administration. Look, We have instances when you want to talk, then they will tell you that governance is not just by the ruling party. Governance involves all of us. Is that not what they say?
Yeah, that's true. That's what it is, actually.
No, that's what they tell us, that governance involves all of
But
us.
that's what it is.
So the vice president is suddenly saying that he, as vice president, is not involved in the administration. Me and the vice president, who is very close and proximate to running this nation.
But we all know that it's different.
Know what?
Running the nation.
Is it
and
not
being
the same
assistant.
vice president that President Akufo-Addo came touting? That the vice president that carries all the knowledge of the world, my vice president Dokite Wiase Nyansa Nyina. Is it not President Akufo said that the vice president had listed the achievement of his Nana Addo's government? The vice president is not the one who is in charge, but he's able to tell the president that, Mr. President, this is what we have achieved. What the vice president was communicating to the president is that he, the vice president, was the one who led those achievements. So if indeed this is what President Akufo-Addo, you remember, we carried a list and said, this is what the vice president said. So what has changed? That the same vice president who could tell Mr. President that, Mr. President, you are unaware, you are oblivious of your own achievement. I, as the vice president, these are the things that I have led you to achieve. Will tell us today that why he is going to cancel e-levy. When we were told by Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Dr. Gideon Bah, John Boydu, that Boako, sorry. You got me there. When we were told by these people that the vice president sat in a meeting, actually crafted the e-levy bill. He crafted the e-levy bill. Today he's telling us that e-levy is a monstrous tax policy. And I said this, go and check the records. I said that you don't tax working capital. So many businesses are falling off because e-levy is a tax on working capital. I have never seen this. For an economist and a banker to be taxing people's working capital and expect that there will be prosperity in the society is unthinkable. We said it. They ignored us. Today, you somersault and come and tell us that you cancel it when you drafted the bill.
But it can be cancelled. It can be done.
No, but we said, why? You remember that we insisted that any day, anytime there is a change of government, e-levy will be cancelled. At that time we were speaking, the vice president was goading his people on that implement e-levy. So you did not take wise counsel from us. You came and told us that, look, we will move this country away from taxation to production. Just list the number of taxes you have. You came and told us that you told us you arrested the depreciation of the cedi. And I have always said that it made good soundbite, but made no sense. Because the vice president has no capacity to arrest anybody and hand over, and go and imprison the person and hand over keys to the IGP. In fact, the IGP doesn't imprison people, first and foremost. So when you are talking about imprisonment, it goes to the controller of the prisons. When he's talking about arrest, it comes to the page.
But it's not just the vice president who is making campaign promises. We are seeing John Dramani Mahama.
I'm coming there.
Yeah.
I thought you permit me.
Is it the time?
Long on the vice president's one.
He's the one going for president. He's not the one.
Are John Dramani Mahama not going for president?
No, but the point is that, okay, let him finish.
So clearly, you told us that you arrested the cedi's depreciation. You have locked it, handed it over to Apietu. So when Apietu left, he also threw away. He threw away the key.
So he left the key, so it's been opened again.
So the thing is up. Then today you come and tell us that a cedi that was one cedi to $4.
No, $1 to 4 cedis.
$1 to 4 cedi is better. No, it's worse than the one that is $14.
14
cedis to $1.
Yeah.
That is what we are being told today.
That's what he said.
I mean, incredible. Unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. I take Ebenezer again because he is into trading. You go and buy something today at $12. When you buy at $12, you come and do your pricing based on $12. So it is possible that by the time you sell, you have sold it at $14. By the time you are about to sell the thing, the dollar has moved to $14. You have made a loss. Because when you are going to buy you will not be able to buy the same quantity that you bought. So you see that your wares will continue to diminish because the value of the cedi is so vacillating that you are unable to continue to have the same stock. And you come and tell me that what we are experiencing today is better than what we had yesterday when it was 4 cedi to $1.
But he says looking at the current situation.
Now, John Dramani Mahama, he says he's coming to cut down the size of his ministers to 60. He was part of, in fact, he was president. He had 88 ministers. He had 88 ministers. When we started talking and said, look, there is no need whatsoever
to have all these
things. And I keep asking, what is the relevance of regional ministers? Because you have district and metropolitan and municipal assemblies. They come directly under the local government, right? The ministries, and they have common fund shares and whatever it shares. The regional ministries, they don't have any share. They are spent for depending on the chief of staff budget or that of the national security. Why do you keep them? And so when the PNC started talking, then you now come and tell us that, oh, you are coming to reduce the size of your government. Of course, building universities is good. Because I have always insisted that the pyramidal nature of our education is part of the levels of unemployment that we have in our society. But what are you building the universities to do? To train people to acquire skills, and the skills they will not be able to implement, they cannot execute, because the job space is constantly shrinking. Anytime you go to an IMF, our 19th time, anytime we go to the IMF, you see that the job space is shrinking. And so you come and build universities, train more people. You train more journalists. There are no stations, jobs for them. You train more lawyers. Go to the Central Business District and see lawyers walking and carrying their big books. And then you see that, yes, we are training more and more people, but the job opportunities are non-existent. What are you training the people for? So we should be able, as I said, to reconfigure the ownership of our economy so that those jobs, when we now send people to the universities and other places, we can find jobs. That is the fundamental challenge that we face, and not these peripheral issues that we are told every day about. That is not courageous leadership.
Okay, so let's see if we have some messages coming in, and this segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. What gadgets are you looking for? Just make sure you go to Franco. They have all the gadgets, mobile phones, television
Which
sets,
Franco
AC.
are you talking about? Even your phone is
whatever you are looking for, Franco Trading Enterprise has got that, and many more. Just go to any of their offices, or you can actually download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app, or just, go to our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa. Let me read some comments. Yes, Honorable.
You people are doing something that is not good.
What is it?
Have you seen
When
how
you come
old?
here on Mondays,
Yes.
not water. Last time some people came, you give them what?
Please,
You are being selective.
please, Sheila is
I'm
bringing the
telling you,
water.
Those who come on Monday
No.
and Tuesday to
Sheila is
Friday.
bringing the water. Sheila, please bring the water.
I sent her a message on that day.
And now you use us to advertise Franco from the beginning to the end.
Let me see what we have here. If I can move these. Can I please move these? I'm struggling to move them. They are stuck. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, no. It's digitalization.
Yes.
This is what we call digitalization.
Okay, so this one says, Rosalind, good morning to you and your panelists. We thank God for giving us life. Rosalind, people do say, what would Mahama do differently in his 4-year term in office when the nod is given? And I see it laughable. Politicians should be aware that discontinuity of government projects happen to be our problem. So it will be prudent for John Dramani Mahama to establish that when he comes to power, he will continue the already uncompleted structures. As for Bawumia, whatever promises he makes, he will not be taken seriously because he says one thing in one breath and does a different thing at another breath. Please, the MPP man, you're talking about Honorable Ebenezer Nartey, should admit that Bawumia has done the nation disservice because the challenges we are going through emanated from the mismanagement of the economy, of which the touted economic messiah, Bawumia, is still the head. Now he's trying to tell Ghanaians that he will reduce the size of his ministers, abolish e-levy, emission tax. Chinese are taking over our lands for Galamsey, etc. Yet the fundamental weakness is hunting himself. The law of karma is in operation. Pa from Sefi Bekwai. Oh, Sefi Pabwase, all right. So this one says, good morning, madam. Tell the President Akufo-Addo that Dumso is around and must apologize to Ghanaians for deceiving us. In race course in Takoradi on the 11th of May, our lights went off at 10:32 a.m. until 4:26 p.m. and went off again at 8:42 p.m. till 9:54 a.m. The sincere truth and the following day, 12 May, the president should direct his speech writers and advisors to be sincere and true to Ghanaians. Mr. President, stop deceiving himself and stop disgracing and embarrassing himself. Dumso is real. Alhaji Ahmed, race course Takoradi. Good morning, Rosalind. It's very sad to preach campaign messages to citizens in local language, but to use foreign language after winning elections. Use English language throughout Parliament, and they in turn tell us to promote and prioritize made in Ghana goods. Talk of all the natural resources we have and our living standards being poor with bad economy. Is it a case? This coming from a rich. Sami Boache Asamanka says, you see how NDC is struggling to claim that they have built a factory during their time? If it's true they were able to build such a factory, why are we hearing about them for the first time? If there was even a single factory built by Mahama worth mentioning, why they couldn't propagate it on their campaign platforms now? Folks, the NPP-led President Akufo-Addo-led government has lived up to its expectations by helping to build a quite number of factories using the 1D1F system. The NPP have more to do. Let's keep supporting Dr. Bawumia to break them and to protect the free SHS. Regards to Honorable Charles Echampong, the MP for Asamankese, and Frank Asiedu Bekwai, a.k.a. Protozoa. Good morning, Rosalind. So the only thing NPP can boast of is free SHS, which is full of problems. Every now and then, we send food and money to support the school, no textbooks. We are painting the schools, etc., always hiding behind PCA. In fact, the way we are suffering now because our children are in SHS is worse than before. They should stop mentioning free SHS because it's not free one bit. We are tired of their hypocrisy. John B. from Achimtafo. This one says, fantastic, Rosalind. My morning today is for you and the experienced driver and nation builder, John Mahama, the next president to save Ghana from Jack Toronto. Fantastic, Rosalind. I heard Jack Toronto is saying JM will not protect his legacy. Which legacy? The same legacy Zechariah 4 chapter 1 is running away from, or a different one? Your own vice president or your own vice and party said the bad governance we are experiencing today, they are not bad because the bar stopped at you, Jack Toronto, and your VP is going to be his own man and the president to bring us out of your e-levy, debt, corruption, arrogance, family projects, governance, gross incompetence, clearing agents. I was deceived, bathing in the air with taxpayers' sweat. In fact, Nanado be grateful to Ghanaians for our patience. If it was elsewhere, you'd have been a refugee by now. But trust me, Ghanaians are going to vote JM massively to come and give us justice. Master Raman Tuna Savannah Raging.
Why do you?
All right, so this is coming from Daniel Akpaliok. Sandema. The reckless incompetence and the unparalleled misgovernance of the Nana and Bawumia government has plunged the nation into these economic crises. These people, while in opposition, spoke as though they were angels and would turn this economy around given the opportunity. They went to the extent of touting Dr. Bawumia as an economic wizard who can change our economic fortunes within a year. Today, Ghanaians have given them the opportunity they have been looking for, and all they can do is to engage in blame games and needless propaganda. They have at this time resorted to peddling falsehood and political gimmicks to catch the attention of Ghanaians. is so sad. Daniel Akpaliok from Sandema. Okay, so this one says that Rosalind, I tell you, if sloganeering is a yardstick for elections, no party could dare attempt to challenge NPP. Honorable Siba Al-Hassan, Zongo Caucus Coordinator, Lower Manya constituency. Good morning, Rosalind. NDC and their 25 economic policy is an error because it is already in existence. Companies are already operating in it, therefore no need to preach it. NDC overpromise and deliver about 30%, unlike NPP 70%. But I think both political parties or any political party in power must continue the works and previous projects and policies of the previous government to make Ghana a better place to live in. Richard Presby Quarters, Tadi. Honorable Akesme, good morning. Good morning, Obapa Commander Rosalie Bako Pe. Me that Ghanaians, let's bring back a leader who has proven his commitment to our nation's progress. Former President John Dramani Mahama has a track record of delivering transformative projects and visionary leadership. His dedication to education, healthcare, infrastructure development, and economic growth has improved the lives of countless citizens. In 2024, let's give President Mahama another term to build on his achievements and take Ghana to even greater heights. He has the experience, wisdom, and passion to tackle our nation's challenges and create a brighter future for all. Let's recognize and reward his hard work and vision by voting him back to office. Together, we can continue to build a stronger, more prosperous Ghana for generations to come. John Mahama, 2024, experience you can trust visionary leadership. Regards to my man, KMJ, the Judas, Honorable Akesme. All right. Thank you. All right, so let's just quickly move on to our next conversation. Or you want to stay on this particular topic?
No, just
before then, let me tell people to go to Franco. They should go and buy their gadgets from Franco. Very important. Please go to Franco Trading Enterprise. Buy your gadgets. It's mobile phones, tabletop, fridges, laptops, air conditioners, CCTV cameras, they have all of that and even many more. You can download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app, or you can just go to, our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone papa perfect. Let me drink some water. Yes, Bernard, you wanted to say something?
Yesterday,
Yes.
I was out of Accra, so I decided to call to check on the family.
Okay.
And when I called, my wife picked and said I was not romantic.
What did you do wrong?
I don't know. Then all of a sudden I asked, they said, don't I know that yesterday was Mother's Day?
Oh, you didn't know?
No, but it's not Wife's Day. What is this? When we are celebrating Father's Day, you come and tell us that we are not fathers without you. So we must do a joint celebration. When it is Mother's Day, we want to celebrate our mothers, then the wives have taken over.
Yeah, but your wife has children for you, doesn't she?
That's their mother. Is that my mother too?
That's fine. Your wife who has given
No.
birth
You
to
see,
your children.
the mothers, the children must celebrate their mothers. And then we too must celebrate our mothers.
We hear you.
Not the other way around. And you call and they say, you are not romantic. Why? You don't know today is Mother's Day. What has Mother's Day got to do with Wife's Day?
You should have wished her Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mrs. Mona. Happy Mother's Day. Very important. Very, very important. Let's move on to our next topic anyway. So our next topic happens to be the PDS issue, the PDS scandal, and John Dramani Mahama is actually dismayed about it because there's a loss of $190 million due to this PDS scandal. He says that if he's voted into power under his administration, he'll make sure he investigates and prosecute the persons who will be found culpable. Now, let's look at why even PDS is folding up and leaving. Some of the reasons they gave was the fact that there was too much interference coming from the private sector, because this negotiation was not about the private sector, it was completely about them and the energy sector. But there's too much coming in from the private sector. They also spoke about the failure of ECG to be paying the IPPs. Now, they said that, the IPPs were owed over $43 million and they are not too happy about it. Hence, they are folding up and they are not going to give us the $190 million that they promised to give to us to support our energy sector. Meaning that this energy sector is going to struggle. Let's not forget that the kind of challenges that we are facing are financial challenges, whether we like it or not. They are financial challenges. And PDS, which is supposed to be one of our cushions, is actually saying that they folded up. They haven't left Africa completely. They are saying that maybe one day they'll come back. But for now, they are done with us. What happened? What really happened? Gideon.
Yes. Well, it is a sad day for Ghana. And it is very, very, very unfortunate. But it doesn't surprise me that it is the same government that has bathed itself with corruption and bribery. Once again, we've seen it. And Ghanaians have seen that whatever they did or the corruption activities are coming out one by one. Now look, on this PDS scandal, we cannot, one of the key people that played a key role in this scandal is Dr. Bawumia, where he watered down the whole PDS issue from bank guarantee to insurance guarantee. And then he also changed the whole project from condition precedent to condition subsequent. On top of it all, it was Babes that were managing the PDS issue. And then to the extent that there was an appropriation of 20 billion Ghana cedi worth of assets that was for ECG that they ended up expropriating. Now look, because of this PDS scandal, Ghana lost $2 billion, according to IEA. This is not from us, but I mean IEA's report came out and said that Ghana lost $2 billion, and to up to now, you realize that the electricity bill is ballooning, and PDS has not been able to refund the money that, close to 1.5 billion Ghana cedi that Ghanaians pay to PDS. PDS has still not refunded the money to the state. You remember that they didn't meet the condition, but they were still running the ECG. And at that period, I recall that automatically, adverts were going on. And so Ghanaians were paying, their ECG bills, their electricity bills to PDS. And that's close to 1.5 billion Ghana cedi. They are yet to refund that money to the state. Now look, it is so clear that one of the things that Dr. Bawumia must understand is that once we come to office, which we know we will make sure that everybody that is found culpable will be made to face the full rigors of law. And Dr. Bawumia must realize that, unlike President Kufuor, that he enjoys some immunity after leaving office, Dr. Bawumia will not, and so we'll go after him, because look, this is a sad day, and we all know that when it comes to this ECG issues or electricity matter, it's about money. It's not really about the fact that we don't have the necessary, infrastructure. It's about money, and this is a big blow for us. But you see, this is the time for me to list the litany of corruption activities that this government has done, together with this PDS. Don't forget that the $10 million was wasted on Cocoa Road's audit. The AFCON project, project, games, $4.5 million was spent on it. Now, many years ago, there was
All African Games.
Yeah, all African Games. Kroll and Associates. Many years ago, when this government came to power, there was 1 million Ghana cedi that was paid to Kroll and Associates for no work done, per the Auditor General's report. Now, I want to also remind Ghanaians of the appointment of Kwame Wusu, who was at the Maritime Authority. He's now the board chairman of GRA, after he had installed 11 air conditions in a 2-bedroom facility. Now, $12 million worth of fertilizer was spent on planting for food and jobs. And that money that they said they had spent, when we realized it was even missing. 18,000 Ghana cedi entertainment allowance for sanitation minister. $12.5 million sole source contract for blood distribution drones. You know the most funny thing? The same Kwame Wusu, who was Ghana Maritime Authority, he had renovated, I just want to remind you, the 2-bedroom.
But you've spoken about it.
No, I'm telling you what he did. He renovated that 2-bedroom facility for 1 million Ghana cedi. 1 million Ghana cedi. And I'm sure you guys, it was that time that Joy played multimedia played a key role in this investigation. Kenny GVG contract. $89 million. You see how my brother is looking at me? He's even surprised. I want to remind.
So these were the things you were writing.
You see, over 100. You see, I have it. There are so many that I cannot list all. But you see, in this PDS adds up to the litany of corrupt activities that this government has engaged in. And when we go to the Flagstaff House, you will notice that even the presidential staffers is still 1,614. In this economy, in this mess where we are suffering, you will notice that is the number of presidential staffers there. And you know that apart from all that, we were told that there are no jobs in the public sector. But the senior minister, Osafo Mafu, has his two, sons in government positions, which my senior brother didn't want to even accept the fact that, the daughter of the president is also occupying a government position, which I'm so surprised. But at least let me also remind you that the senior minister has two of his sons. At least one is a state, and we all know what has happened there. So you see, clearly, Ghanaians are seeing, and we have seen that this PDS that we kept on making noise and kept on reminding Ghanaians that it has brought a lot of mess to this country as one of the corrupt activities that government has brought.
So then you should be happy that they are going.
Oh, well, why not? I mean, it is not a matter of we are not happy. No,
you're not happy?
We are not happy.
Okay.
Don't forget that John Dramani Mahama, our president, our former president, who is going to be the next president, he tweeted how he was so sad that this $190 million, investment that the U.S. Millennium Compact was bringing, because of the PDS scandal, we are losing it.
It's not a good thing. So you see, they were bringing the money because of PDS, not a scandal.
Yeah, but the point is that, but in the long run.
So now that PDS has pulled out, we are losing the money.
Exactly.
So if PDS had stayed, we would have gotten this 190
Of course, and that would have solved all our problems in terms of
But you are
issues.
complaining about PDS here. Now, if PDS is coming in and we are going to get this money to boost our energy sector, then PDS is not as bad as we are making it seem.
Oh, but
the only issue is that we are hearing PDS say that there is too much involvement from the private sector, and they are not happy about it.
But don't forget
but
don't forget that there was a scandal, right, where Babes were made to run that issue. And I indicated to you that based on the fact that there was supposed to be a bank guarantee, Dr. Bawumia made sure that it was transitioned to insurance guarantee. Because they need to have a bank guarantee, and they moved it to insurance guarantee. Now, another requirement for that project was condition precedent, and they changed to condition subsequent. All these things were not supposed to be done. And that's why we are where we are today. And you see, it is not a good thing, but it tells you that this government are thieves. That's the point. You see, it's unfortunate.
All right.
Let's call it a spade a spade.
Okay.
This government is made up of thieves. And I've listed to you at least some of the corrupt activities that this government has done, and at least PDS has now been clear. We are all not happy, because you should rest assured that now we don't know where we're going to get the money to solve these electricity issues.
Anyway, let me come to
And now we know that it's not about doom CSC. Only Sika, Obeko, Obeshika. It's not about doom CSC.
Honorable evidence.
Now it's clear.
Please come to the
It's not about look at my face. Now it's not clear that what.
Your time is up.
Ask for money too, they've taken it away.
Thank you. Honorable, I don't know if your sound is on because it keeps falling.
Yes.
Is it working? I hope the sound is
Why
okay.
would it not keep falling?
Why?
He took a picture and put it on his status.
Hey. Honorable, please. Honorable, PDS. Yeah, we know we've heard of some scandals in the past, but it was also here for a good reason, for a good purpose. We're going to get $190 million because of PDS. And because they're folding up, we are losing this money. It's the kind of reasons that they gave. That's quite worrying. The private sector, being a part of it, they are not too happy. And they're not happy that ECG is owing these IPPs. They feel because of this, they don't want to be a part of it again.
Rosalind, PDS. I think that we all know how PDS came into this country. It's part of the Millennium Challenge accounts that we're able to secure. And through that, we have PDS. And the essence of their presence in this country is to assist or to help us when it comes to electricity generation. They have raised concerns that due to certain reasons, they want to leave this country. And if they are leaving, meaning that the money that we'll be getting from the Millennium Challenge account will not be able to get it because they are going to receive it and then make sure that
It comes to Ghana.
It comes to Ghana, and then whatever we use for in our energy sector, it will be able to. For me, it's a matter of concern. The question is, they have raised the issue of private sector involving or interfering in the work that they are doing. The question that we need to ask ourselves, what kind of interference? What are the issues? Are the issues, is that the issue that they are talking about, can it be resolved? What role is the private sector playing that is affecting the efficiency of PDS? If some of these things are being put to bear, I believe strongly that we'll definitely get to the root of the matter. Because if you see the private sector are involving themselves or interfering in your work, definitely it might create a problem for you.
Yeah.
If you remember, when the Ameri plant was sent to Kumasi. You heard the president, the Otumfuo, making a proposal that, look, we need to bring a lot of private sector in our energy sector. They should also come and own. And we have a lot of people, we have our theories. I know about Togbe Afedi, who owns, one of the energy sector that give us power.
Okay.
Asogdi. These are people that are all private people. These are not government institutions. So it will be good that PDS will outline issues that they believe that are creating problem for them in doing the work as expected of them. I believe strongly that if we are able to know some of these things, then government can. I'm happy that in the course of PDS proposal or suggestions or idea of leaving this country, they never say government interference. And you know, in every organization, there are competition. And if there are competition, definitely, if you have the upper hand, you will not be happy. There are a lot of things today, as we were even discussing our Monday morning show. We talk about getting the people on time. As I'm speaking with you, I can tell you for a fact that most of the TV stations that run political show in the morning have not started yet.
Yeah.
So everybody's concentration is on Joy Prime. Somebody can watch Joy Prime, at the end of the day, leaves and go to work. By the time he gets to work, the other station that he thinks that he can have access to will not be working.
Yeah.
So competition in the private sector is key. But if they come out for Ghanaians to know what exactly the problems are,
right,
what are the interference that they are talking about, what the private sector is doing that is making their work so difficult, then we can speak to it. But if, my brother, bears the name of my grandmother, Aite, decided to take it to a different level. This morning when I came, I told you, I counted the seats. 18 seats.
Yes, listed them.
I was asking myself two questions. Either he's going to give a judgment in court, or he's going to lecture some students. You see, sometimes we need to look at the issue and let's deal with it accordingly. So for me, I think PDS should come again. Let us know the interference that the private sector is.
But what about the owing of ECG? Where ECG owes these IPPs. They spoke about it.
Oh yes, as for ECG and the debts, to be honest and sincere with you, I sometimes don't really get ECG. Because if I'm owing ECG, they'll come and disconnect me.
Yeah.
But go to some institutions, both private and government institutions, owing ECG huge sums of money. You let it go.
Oh, but recently they disconnected Parliament.
When they disconnect Parliament, what happened? What happened?
Parliament paid, right? Or they didn't pay?
Yes. Parliament pay about 70% that they were owing.
Yeah.
So meaning the Parliament can pay and you are refusing to pay. So any government institution, even if Jubilee House is owing ECG, they can even disconnect it and get it paid. If Joy Prime is owing ECG, they should come and disconnect it. The only place, that if they are owing, I'll plead with ECG is the hospitals.
The hospitals, okay.
Apart from that, other institutions, and you see, I remember during either Atamel's time or Mama time, they said they are going to change all government institutions to prepaid. They did some few and then they left. I still believe that government institutions need to be provided with prepaid meters.
Your government is in power. What did you do?
Oh, I'm just saying.
No, it's just a question, though.
I said, what I said, I believe
Not your party.
all government institutions
Okay.
should have
Prepaid.
prepaid. It should be part of
prepaid.
I mean, they should be able to give prepaid meters to government institutions.
After 8
My
years, it
party is
hasn't
in
been
government.
done.
But I still say that if Jubilee House is owing, they should go and disconnect it.
Okay.
I will not come and sit here and say that if Jubilee House is owing, clap for them.
Okay.
Because I believe that when the ECG gets money, that is where they also be able to operate and we all
Pay
have.
the IPPs.
Yes.
Right. Bernard.
First and foremost, I think a certain clarity has to be made. Because I heard Ebenezer talk about Sonny Asogli and other IPPs. These IPPs are not distributors, they are generators.
Okay.
They do power generation. And ECG that was being stolen and hijacked by PDS is responsible for electricity distribution. And so when the Millennium Challenge account is talking about private sector interests in PDS, which is leading them out of the country, they are not certainly referring to the independent power producers. They are referring to the individuals who, because ECG is completely government owned. How come that in transferring ECG to PDS, we noticed that barbering shop owners were also now shareholders of the ECG or the PDS? How come that certain deputy ministers were the promoters of the concept of the PDS? How come that individuals started having shares in the PDS scandal or the PDS deal? It is that which the Millennium Challenge account sees as a threat, and not the independent power producers. After all, there are several independent power producers in this country. People have come to help us to construct. The American came as an independent producer. You had Car Power.
Yeah.
You had, there are many. They all came to produce and to augment. And Sonny Asogli has been in the system for too long. So if ECG is owing them, it is because they have produced power, and you took the power, you have distributed it, you have used it, you have actually collected your money. But you have refused to pay them their money. And so you went and brought in Power Distribution Services, PDS. When you were bringing it, we told you that that cannot be the panacea to the problems as ECG. You insisted, because we have seen some. You've not seen some. We saw some with Aqua Ran Vitin.
Yeah.
They came and told us that they were coming to do water service delivery and improvement. In fact, when Aqua Vitin came, they did not increase the efficiency of collecting water bills. They did not bring in new water projects. It was after Aqua Vitin left that the people of Adenta now started even getting water.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
When the contract was not renewed, because they came and collected our money and chipped our money away. So the private sector that you are always talking about, by inviting expatriates to come and take over our assets, it's not the solution to the problems. And I've said this time without number. And Ebenezer, listen to me. This idea by your wing of political parties that it is not the business of government to do business is so bankrupt. Look, we have state assets. You say they are not functioning well because of inefficiencies from management. And the solution is to sell them off. It's like having this studio, right? You own the studio. and the studio is dirty, and you know that you have hired a cleaner to clean it, and because the studio is dirty, instead of you to fire the cleaner and bring in an efficient cleaner, you decide that the solution is to sell the studio. Will you have a place to come and do your show? That is what we have done to almost every state assets. And that is why I totally disagree with the Otumfuo by saying that bring in private sector to come and take ECG. There are things that are essential and are of public good. If you go to other countries, look, you will not get water to be participated by the private sector. Electricity is a public good. Go to Canada, go to the United States of America. It is owned entirely by the states. Our leaders have traveled to these places and they come. And then you have small boys from IMF and World Bank come and tell you that, no, you see this, and they look at prime institutions that are profitable. Yeah. They tell you that, look, you have to have handover. The United States Millennium Challenge account is not in just to assist Africans. They are not Father Christmas. Anytime they are giving you the money, they are looking at what to take away from you.
So that $190 million would have come with a consequence.
Obviously. Why? They brought us things at, what do we call it? The 540 million. You remember? Mm-hmm. That one we used to do the N1.
Yeah.
Why? You think that it was for free? It was not for free. Today we have established.
What did they take in return?
Did you see that we established military base? Go to the Air Force base.
Yeah.
What did you charge them for it?
They do have a military base.
What did you charge them for it? As I was coming from Tamale, go and see the plane that came from the United States of America, claiming that they are coming to do what simulation exercises and to support our military. What are they doing there? So it is these things that they use to get into us, and we believe that they are in to solve any problem. Look, PDS never came to solve any problem. It was part of the conditions that they brought, so that you will give it out. And their intention was that their companies will buy. And now we also went and brought in X-Men and what have you, barbering shop owners, so that they can also come and take over. That is why they are running away from it.
Me, I'm only interested in the fact that they should bring back the money, the 1.5 billion Ghana cedi that was paid. They should just bring to the state.
But they've gone.
Oh, this is the money we need.
But they've gone.
No. The people that were managing, the people are here. Those who are managing, they should bring the money.
Oh, so you're talking about those who are here.
Exactly. So. Okay. They should bring the money.
All right, so let's read some comments. Kwame Acidity Ahafo actually says accusations of arrest Honorable Alaji Collins Dauda, MP for Esuti South, and involvement in violent incident during voter registration exercise deemed false and malicious. It's false allegations circulating in the media, and Collins Dauda has not visited that constituency as Sunafo South in Ahafo region. These unfounded allegations propagated by certain elements within the NPP government in the Esuti South. Public must disregard this information. My regards to Honorable Alaji Collins Dauda. Is it true? You know.
The police officially issued a statement.
Yeah.
And I'll be surprised that the police issued an official statement.
They saw a pickup of his.
Okay.
But he's not, and
the police arrested.
The police
say that they've arrested him.
Yeah, the police said they
because in their statements.
And now my worry is that after you claim you have arrested him, you are now saying that it is alleged that he's involved, and now you are going to investigate.
Anyway, so how do you arrest without knowing?
He was his pickup. They saw a pickup that had his posters, his pictures.
Oh, right. Good morning, Madam Roslyn. Respectfully, any day time, Dr. Bawumia is far better to lead this country as compared to former President Mahama. Dr. Bawumia is a solution to the youth unemployment. He is winning this election, period. Basai, Kamala, Matthias, Jasikan. All right. Politicians in Ghana. All right, so I'm trying to get this one. Politicians in Ghana is becoming very interesting. Is it the same NDC who refuses to release their own voters' registration to the EC, who are going conduct their presidential primaries, who are requesting for a serial number of EC-BVD verification machines today? Is it the same NDC who said that they don't use voters' register with photographs for their internal elections, but only use voters' lists without photographs, are the same people who are calling for transparent of elections today? What caused the pulled pulled out of Dr. Kwabena Duffuor in the NDC presidential elections. EC must be allowed to do their work because NDC is not Ghanaian than anybody. Abdul Rahman Bako in Old Barrier. All right, so this all time will permit me, but don't forget to go to Franco Trading Enterprise to get all your gadgets. Is it mobile phones, television set, computers, laptops, whatever you need. Franco Trading Enterprise has got that and even many more. You can download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app, or visit our website, www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfie. I want to say thank you to my guests for being here. We are very grateful. Gideon Tete represented the NDC. He's Esquire. So anytime you see him, Esquire. Honorable Ebenezer Nate represented the NPP, and of course, Bernard Mona represented the PNC this morning. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Which one is it?
Why do you give other guests malt and give us
and
water?
biscuits?
Auntie Rose,
Well, sorry, it won't happen again.
I want
And
to.
you add
Effective,
biscuits.
effective next week.
You
we'll
give
do
them
that.
malt and
I
biscuits.
want to
I'll give all of
encourage
that.
those who are yet to register to register as
Hey,
voters
my time.
to go out and come their
Register.
numbers,
Okay.
because
Oh, no,
we
my
need
time
them-
is registered.
This
We
is-
need
my
them
image was
to
the
vote
fairly.
and
And
take
And this
government
is
out.
the news
My
flash
son
statement.
is
Coming up next
registered
is
today.
Oh, praise the Lord.
the Siedwa Kumiadu Stay.